The diner sat quietly at the corner of Main Street, a place where the smell of old coffee and fresh bread mixed with stories no one ever told. It wasn't fancy, a handful of tables, chipped counters, and a jukebox that hadn't worked in years, but it was where people came when they had nowhere else to go. And that's exactly why Daniel Hayes chose it. No one in that diner knew he was the CEO of one of the largest restaurant chains in the state. Dressed in jeans and a worn jacket, Daniel looked like any other tired customer trying to blend in. For weeks, he had been visiting his own franchises in disguise, hoping to understand why profits were falling and morale was low. But what he found that night was something money could never measure. It was nearly closing time. Only 2 waitresses remained, one humming softly as she wiped tables, and the other a young woman with tired eyes and hands that worked faster than her years should have allowed. Her name tag read Maya. Daniel watched her as she moved between tables, collecting plates, cleaning crumbs, and smiling politely even when no one seemed to notice her. Her uniform was clean but faded, her shoes cracked at the edges. There was something honest about her, something unguarded. When a customer left a few coins as a tip, she didn't complain. She just whispered, "Thank you," as if every small kindness mattered. As the clock struck midnight, the lights dimmed slightly. The manager, a heavyset man with a rough voice, yelled from the back, "Make sure everything's spotless before you leave. Maya, and don't take too long." "Yes, sir," she said softly. Daniel pretended to be lost in his coffee, but his eyes followed her when she slipped toward the kitchen. He saw her glance around, check if the manager was gone, and then carefully pick up 2 leftover rolls of bread from a basket. She wrapped them in a napkin and placed them gently into her small fabric bag. At first, he thought maybe she was hungry, but then she walked to the back door and whispered something before setting the bag down outside. Curious, Daniel stood and peeked through the window. In the alley, 2 small shadows moved, a boy and a girl, maybe 6 or 7, waiting quietly under the dim streetlight. Maya knelt, handed them the bread, and smiled. "Eat slowly, okay? I'll bring something better tomorrow," she said. The children hugged her, and she kissed their foreheads before sending them off into the dark. Daniel's chest tightened. Something about that small, secret act of kindness hit him deeper than any business report ever could. He waited for her to come back, then spoke softly. "You know, most people throw leftovers away without a second thought." Startled, Maya froze. Sir, I wasn't stealing. Please don't tell the manager." "Those kids, they're my neighbors. Their mom lost her job last month. They haven't eaten properly in days. I couldn't watch them go hungry." Daniel stood, walking closer. "Do you do this often?" She hesitated. "Only when there's extra food. I know it's wrong, but if it means 2 kids sleep with a full stomach..." She trailed off, her eyes glistening. "Wrong?" he repeated softly. "No. What's wrong is how this world makes people like you feel guilty for being kind." Maya blinked, unsure what to say. Daniel reached into his pocket and pulled out a business card, but quickly hid it again. Not yet. He wanted to understand her heart, not impress her with his name. "Do you ever dream of something more?" he asked. She smiled faintly. "Dreams are expensive. Rent comes first." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept seeing her face, and not the exhaustion, but the quiet strength behind it. By morning, he had made a decision. The next day, he returned as himself. Clean suit, polished shoes, driver waiting outside. The diner buzzed with whispers the moment he entered. The manager rushed forward. "Mr. Hayes! We weren't expecting..." Daniel raised a hand. "Relax, I'm just here for coffee." Then he looked toward Maya. She froze, the tray in her hand trembling. He smiled gently. "Good morning, Maya," the manager frowned. "You know her, sir?" "Not yet," Daniel said. "But I should." He motioned for her to sit, but she stood nervously. "Sir, if this is about last night, please." "I didn't mean to break any rules," Daniel's eyes softened. "The only rule you broke was believing kindness is something to hide. You helped children eat. You reminded me what humanity looks like." He took out a paper and slid it toward her. It was an employment offer. Double her current pay, benefits included, at the corporate headquarters of Hayes Dining Group. Maya stared at it, speechless. "I don't understand." "I need people like you," Daniel said quietly. "People who care. People who see others, not numbers." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Why me?" "Because when no one was watching, you chose to do good." That's who I want leading my new community program. Maya covered her mouth, unable to speak. Sir, I don't even have a college degree. Neither did my mother, Daniel said softly. But she taught me what compassion means. You've just reminded me of her. That evening, Daniel waited outside as Maya packed up her things. As she walked out, he handed her a box of fresh bread from the bakery down the street. For the kids, he said with a small smile. She smiled back, the kind of smile that reaches the soul. You don't have to keep helping me, Mr. Hayes. He met her eyes. Maybe not. But sometimes helping others helps you find the parts of yourself you forgot existed. In the months that followed, Maya transformed the company's outreach programs. She helped launch food banks, free meal drives, and initiatives that fed hundreds of struggling families. Daniel found himself watching her with quiet admiration, realizing that her strength wasn't loud, it was gentle, steady, and real. One evening, after a long meeting, Maya approached him with that same warmth he had first seen in the diner. You've changed a lot, Mr. Hayes, he smiled. No, Maya, you reminded me who I was before success made me forget. She laughed softly, and for the first time in years, he felt something stir that wasn't about business. It was about life, love, and second chances. Sometimes the richest man in the room isn't the one with the money. It's the one who learns the value of kindness from someone who never had much to give, yet gave everything anyway. And on quiet nights, when the city slept and the stars blinked faintly over the skyline, Daniel would drive by that old diner. It still stood there, the same flickering neon sign glowing faintly. He would smile, remembering the waitress who hid bread in her bag, not out of hunger, but out of love, because in the end, it wasn't just bread she was saving. She was saving hearts, including his.